sweet beans, my name is Slay and welcome to the Little Reader's Corner. I am trying to do a 24-hour readathon again. And I don't mean again as in I did one like a year ago. No, I mean this is the third day in a row that I have tried to do this. The first day, nothing happened at all. The second day was yesterday. And at some point it was just 2 o'clock and I still hadn't read anything. And then I went to Barnes & Noble to try to really get excited to read something and pick up a new book. And then I went to Cheesecake Factory, had a mojito, and then took a nap. So it didn't really happen for me. But today it's happening because I'm behind in 2 buddy reads. I am behind on my May TBR. It's already June. And everything is just a mess in my personal life. So you know what? We're going to distract ourselves with a day filled with reading. My apartment is a mess. I have like 6 shipping boxes I still haven't unpacked. I have a bookshelf filled with books and then a bunch of piles of books underneath it because I don't have enough shelf space. I digress. We're going to read today. So let's talk about the books I will be reading. So I have here a stack of the necessary books. I also have 2 other books that are also necessary, but I'll talk about those a little bit later. And then I have like 4 books that I bought yesterday that I really want to read. But is that happening today? No, it's not. We need to be a little realistic and honest with ourselves, but having the separate stack of the possibility pile of books I might actually get to, but I really definitely won't, it gives me hope, it motivates me, because I have been stuck on 2 of these books since May, and they're good books. I just have not had the mental health capacity to read at all. So I just need to jumpstart myself. And that's where the pile comes in. Let's chat about this pile, shall we? So first off, we have the 2 books that I was reading in May that I have not picked up because I have not at all felt like reading. I have basically just turned into a slug, but I do not want to be a slug anymore. I want to, this metaphor is falling apart, but take my slug body and transform into a beautiful butterfly. Right? That's how biology works. Anyways, so these 2 books were on my May TBR. I am about halfway into Hungry Hearts. This is a collection of 13 short stories written by 13 authors. It basically takes place in this fictional place of Hungry Hearts Row, where there are all of these different restaurants, and it's kind of this collective community that is really focused on food, and these stories are also focused on different forms of love. I have already read, I think, half of them, maybe a little bit less. Some of these are definite favorite short stories. Some of them are okay. One of them was really funky and I really didn't get the premise throughout the entire part of it, but it's fine because they're short stories. I've wanted to read this collection for more than a year, and I specifically didn't buy this book until this year because I couldn't decide if I wanted the hardcover or the paperback. It was a struggle. So we have this one, and then we have The Displaced, Refugee Writers on Refugee Lives. This is a collection of essays written by refugee writers writing about their lives and about their experiences as refugees. I don't think it's fictionalized. I think it's all nonfiction, but we'll find out. I haven't started this one yet. It is edited by Readathon, and it sounds fantastic. I am looking forward to working with refugees and displaced people and migrants for my career, so this is very much up my alley. I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I've been wanting to read this for so long. I just need to get back into actually physically reading a book. And then we have the 2 books that I might be starting off with, because if I know anything, it's how to get myself out of a slump. And the recipe is a graphic novel or a comic book, then a contemporary fiction, and then I just slide back into my TBR. That is how it's always worked. That is how my brain can function, you know, see all the pretty pictures and the minimal words and not too much power on my brain. and then contemporary world where it's not too different from our world, and then slide back into the fantasy and all the deep world building. And as I mentioned, I have this beautiful stack right here that is motivating me. That is all of the new books that I purchased, because there's something about purchasing a new book that gets you excited for reading again. One of these is a secret TBR buddy read in there, but the rest are just random new books that I really want to read. So, and with that, let's have some breakfast because my croissant is getting cold, and a cold croissant is just sad. So we are going to read today. I'm going to try to read for 24 hours. Will I actually be able to read for 24 hours? I don't know, but I'm going to try to read as long as possible and for as much of the day as possible. I might bake muffins. This intro has been long, and let's get started.
We're lying there on the bed above the sheets. No one's saying a word, but I can feel your heartbeat. I stare into your eyes and you into mine, lying perfectly still, like we are frozen in time. I don't want this to be over.
The readathon is going very well. See, I knew this was a good idea. This works every time. I swear, you gotta know what unlocks the reading slump. And for me, it's cute graphic novels that I love. Okay, so I just finished volume 1. And I don't even remember what time I started because I just started reading it. And then I ignored my croissant. Half of my croissant is now cold, which if you know me, the croissant does not go cold. I now have to reheat my croissant because I got so swept up in this story. I love it so much. Alice Oseman is just a god, an ethereal being. Oh my goodness. I really want to read all of Alice Oseman's work in a whole reading vlog, and I'm very excited about it, except I need to get the UK editions from Book Depository, which will take a while to ship. But now that I'm on the East Coast, I think it's gonna take like half the time for when I had to get a shipment of them to Hawaii. So, you know, I think it'll be better. Okay, so I finished this one. So here's the funny thing. When Maddie from Princess Paperback just visited me, we went to a used bookstore / independent bookstore, and they had a copy of volume 2 of Heartstopper. And here's the thing. I have read all of Heartstopper. I've just read it online because you can read it for free on Alice Oseman's website. So I've read all of it, but I just haven't read all of it physically. I've only had volume 1 for some time, but I've wanted to get the other ones. I got volume 1 from the UK. I got volume 2 at the independent used bookstore. I got it for full price though, unfortunately. It was there. I was like, you know what? We've had a rough month. Let's do it. And the editions are slightly different. So now I'm like, because I was going to buy all the other ones in the UK edition, but then I'm just gonna have this random volume 2 edition from the US, so oh well. But anyways, finished volume 1. Love it so much. Now I'm going to read volume 2. Oh, it's just too good. Okay, I'll read volume 1, and then I'm either going to read an essay from the Displaced or a short story from Hungry Hearts. And then I think, depending on how it goes reading either of them, I might switch off back and forth, or I might just stick with one for a while until lunch. We shall see, but now I get to read the next one.
We're lying there on the bed above the sheets. No one's saying a word, but I can feel your heartbeat. I stare into your eyes and you into mine. lying perfectly still, like we are frozen in time.
We're back. I finished volume 2. Oh my gosh, now it's like noon. I've just been sitting here reading these. Oh, this is how you read. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Okay, so now that I just read 2 graphic novels in my morning, I might have to heat up this croissant because I kind of ignored it, but it's fine. I'm gonna make it exciting. I'm gonna utilize the rest of my croissant, and then, oof, I'm not sure. I think I'll read one of the essays in Displaced and then Hungry Hearts after I heat up my croissant. Reading is fun.
I don't want this to be over. Don't want the morning to come. My head upon your shoulder, wishing that you would say, I think you should stay. I think you should stay. I want you to stay.
All right, we're back. So I read 2 essays in the Displaced. This is absolutely excellent if you're looking for stories on refugee lives, and especially written from refugee writers. This is the collection for you. Definitely check it out. I've only read a couple of the essays so far, and already they're just very well done and fantastic. So read a couple of these. Now I'm going to switch to Hungry Hearts so I can slowly make my way through all of the books that I'm reading, because yet again I am somehow in the middle of 5 different books and behind on all of the buddy reads, and I haven't even started on the buddy reads today. So I'm going to either finish the one I'm on. Oh yeah, I'm in the middle of one right now. Oh, but there's only a couple of pages left. So finish the one that I'm currently reading and then start the next short story. Yeah, the next one looks quite a bit longer. So hopefully start the next one, and then I'm going to make myself some lunch because I'm starting to feel peckish. Then I might switch it up and read in my bed if you haven't noticed already. My apartment, all of the places you can't see except for that pile of garbage right there. It's all a mess. I have shipping boxes, I have books all over the floor, I have recycling in a corner. I still have some random stuff that I got from Costco that I haven't put away yet, like a giant stack of paper towels. It's all a bit of a mess. I don't have a couch or another seating area, so it is either the desk chair or it is the bed. Those are the 2 areas of seating where reading can happen, unless I want to sit on the pile of paper towels and toilet paper rolls that make up my fake couch right now. So, you know, we'll see. We're gonna do that, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna have for lunch yet. I do have some chicken wings I could heat up. I might do that. I also might make some spring rolls. I don't know. I don't know what I'm feeling yet, but orange juice is definitely gonna be a part of it. So let's do some reading.
That it's getting late. I want you to stay. I want you to stay. We were young, and no one dared to make the first move. You and me in the night, 2 souls in the moonlight. I stare into your eyes, and you into mine.
Hello. So I finished reading that chapter, that whole short story. I actually read the whole thing. It was a really good one. So I read that, and then I made lunch. I didn't film my lunch. It was rice and sausage and some greens. So, you know, it wasn't that exciting. Did that, watched a YouTube video. I went to lie down for a little bit because I'm really tired. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's all of the reading. Like, my eyes are like, and I'm wearing the new prescription, which I'm mostly used to at this point, but it still is like a little straining on my eyes because I don't wear it that much. So I have decided to make cookies. I consider myself a pretty decent baker, but for some reason, classic chocolate chip cookies just always turn out cakey no matter what I do. I have tried so many different recipes. I really like chewy cookies and I like crispy cookies. And yet I always get these stupid cakey cookies, which I don't want. So I'm going to really hope that these white chocolate chip cookies are gonna turn out okay. I think I'm just gonna make them white chocolate chips with maybe some nuts in them. Sounds like a good time. I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna listen to an audiobook while I make them. I just finished listening to a chapter of the 5th season, which I'm buddy reading with Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe and Jade from Jaded Reader. We have been taking our sweet time reading it, but oh my goodness, we're about halfway through and the plot is really picking up. Like, this book is fantastic. We had no idea what the plot of this book was. We just knew Annika Jemison, fantasy, we're ready and we're here for it. But then around chapter 8 or 9, like some stuff started happening and now the plot's like really unfolding and you can see the characters and the world building just all exploding on the page and it is good. So I might listen to the next chapter of that because Jade is ahead of me and Olivia Savannah right now, so we still have to catch up. And then after that, I have to read at least a couple chapters of my secret TBR, secret buddy read. So then I'll be like all caught up. Did you just see that major change in light? Oh my gosh, that is so weird. I think like a really dark cloud just showed up.
Well, you know what they say, there are no kingdoms without rulers. Are you ready for change? We could be kings and queens every day. On the low, we are brave, yes, even braver than the bravest. So let's go, start the race. We should be kings and queens every day. You've been trying to find your crown, happy camper through the ups and downs, keeping calm, winning ground. Let's build castles now. We'll make gold on our way up, through them trees before we reach them tops. Oh no, half isn't enough.
Update time. So the cookies are currently baking. I just tried one and I swear I don't know what it is. I don't know why I can't bake the standard chocolate chip cookies. I try to either do the crispy recipe or the chewy recipe. I swear I follow the recipe pretty closely. I mean, pretty closely. And yet every single time they're cakey. Like, I don't understand. If you know why, please tell me. I don't know what it is. Do I leave them in too long? Do I not leave them in long enough? I wait until they're brown. Maybe I leave them in too long. Maybe for this next one, I'll try to take it out a bit earlier. But I always feel like I'm undercooking them if they still look like blanchy and beige, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. But anyways, the cookies are happening. It's still like an hour and a half until the live show, so that's exciting. But I am currently doing my secret buddy read reading. I'm on page 60, and the person I'm buddy reading with, this will all be in a secret vlog coming out sometime soon, but we have like 5 books to read and each of them are like 400 pages long, so it's gonna take a while. But my buddy read partner is on page 120 and I thought I was on page like 60, but apparently I was on page like 45. So I just got to page 60. I still have a ways to go. So I'm really hoping in the next hour and a half I can catch up to where my buddy read partner is, and then I'll be like pretty set, at least for this 24-hour readathon. Like, I will have accomplished the bare minimum that I set out for myself, which honestly in these times accomplishing the bare minimum is like impressive. Like, after May, I don't know about you, but May was a disaster of a month. I feel like June is our time to shine, you know? So we can do this, we got this. It's gonna be okay. You ever just rearrange your entire living room so you can look good in a live show? Because that's what I'm doing. Woo.
I went towards lower. I see V anywhere there, so maybe V ran to electrical and killed.
I saw you in Readathon.
Okay, so then maybe she did go there, and I didn't see it. But I mean, I just feel like nobody in security would vent there because it's too.
So it is 11:45. So the live show was absolutely fantastic. I love Nitty so much. What an absolute peach of a human. We had so much fun. Oh my goodness. If you missed it, you can still watch it back. It's a good time, okay? We were live for just about 4 hours. And we talked about astrology, and we read a little bit, and we played Among Us, and it was such a fun time. The only time I ever play Among Us is on Nitty's live sprints, so it was a good time. Now I am absolutely exhausted. I'm going to call this 24-hour readathon a success. I can still make it a full 24-hour readathon if I continue tomorrow, which I'm thinking I might. So we'll find out soon enough. You probably already know because the video's already out, but I'm going to bed because I am exhausted. I have read so much. What a day. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. It is a crisp 10:30 a.m. I need to fill this here mug with some coffee, or fake decaf coffee. I haven't decided what my tiredness to anxiety ratio is because the anxiety is high. The tired is also high. I don't know. I haven't landed on a solution yet, but this will be filled with the Hot Brown Morning Potion very soon. So we returned to the book stack, which I have here. So I didn't actually talk about 2 of these yesterday because do I need to be encouraged to start more books even though I still haven't finished other books? Well, it's too late. So let's not worry about that. I did start reading The Raven Boys 2 days ago. Remember when I said that I failed the first attempt of this? Well, that's because I went to the Cheesecake Factory and started reading this, made it to page 33. So anyways, I read to page 33, marked it with my receipt, as one does when they go to the Cheesecake Factory at 2 o'clock on a Thursday. So did that. I had a mojito and took a nap. That was my first attempt of this readathon. Clearly yesterday went a lot better, but I am reading The Raven Boys for the Studio Ghibli readathon that is happening this month with some wonderful co-hosts that I will link down below. I'm very excited. I am doing the Spirited Away prompts because it is currently my favorite Studio Ghibli movie. I haven't seen all of them, so that may change, but I flippin' love that movie. It is almost tied with Howl's Moving Castle, but then I recently rewatched Spirited Away, and please, it is my favorite Studio Ghibli movie. I love that movie very much. So I'm doing 3 prompts for the Studio Ghibli readathon with this book. And those prompts are childhood love, which Jade says kind of counts. Okay. Next one is read a book recommended by a trusted individual. So both Jade from Jaded Reader and Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe are very trusted individuals. This book series is just about their life, and for that exact reason, I have been terrified to read this book. So I guess it's happening. And the third prompt is binge read. So apparently this is very good. The internet agrees that this is very good. I read 30 pages after a reading slump, so it's pretty good. So I might read a little bit of that today. I might read a little bit more of my buddy read. I am very tired, as I said before, so I need to figure out what breakfast will optimize my excitement for reading. It is a croissant. We have landed on croissant. So let's do that. So I haven't moved since the last clip when I said I was going to make a croissant, which was about 30 minutes ago. But I did reorganize my contemporaries. This isn't even all of my contemporaries. I think you can see all of them, right? I'll get out of the way. This isn't even, I think, half of my contemporaries, but my second bookshelf is probably not going to get here for 2 to 3 weeks. So you're not going to see a bookshelf organization video because this isn't how my shelves are going to look. I literally just stuck them on. I mean, this shelf is the permanent favorites plus a couple random ones. This shelf right here is the contemporary shelf that I was just looking at and I was like, you know what? It needs to be rainbow. Like, it can't just be unorganized. So now those two shelves are organized. Everything else is a disaster. Books are all over the floor. Yeah. So now I will go and I will make a croissant and a coffee because I need it. Okay, I'm gonna go.
You are listening to this, but in the future, as I am reporting it, AFC Wimbledon on September 22nd.
All right, I'm going to read a little bit of Hungry Hearts to get myself into the motion of things, and I think I will read at least 1 or 2 short stories in Hungry Hearts today, 1 or 2 essays in the Displaced today, and then I'm going to make headway in my buddy read for the secret TBR. Yes, we are going to do stuff today. You are going to keep me accountable because what I really want to do is watch some television because this morning I woke up with anxiety. So what did I do? I poured myself a very large cup of caffeinated coffee. We're gonna start regretting this in about 35 minutes. So let's enjoy it while we can, huh? Oh, it's so good though. You know, my decaf coffee tastes almost the same, but the thing is, this morning I was lazy, tired, and anxious. And you wanna know what the lazy does to that? It means instant coffee. That's right, this right here is instant coffee. Also, listen, we're about to go on a tangent, so get ready with me. Look at this mug. This mug is adorable. Maddie saw this in Target when we were like out in the boonies of Virginia going to a bookstore, and we went to a Target there so I could get things like paper towels. But Maddie saw this mug and you're like, oh, it's such a plain mug. But here's the thing, it's really cute on the other side, but that means I would have to hold it left-handed. So I'm not sure if this is like a left-handed mug or if right-handed people just use left-handed mug. I don't know, but it says, look at it. Look at it, morning sunshine. And my name means sun in French. Hello? Are you, like, here I'm focusing on the book behind me. There we go. Morning sunshine, ding. But how do you hold a mug with your left hand? I don't understand, I don't know. And like 4 of my mugs are left-handed mugs. I don't know. I think maybe the left-handed people are just getting their mugs finally out into the world, or I've just been drinking my coffee abnormally, which either one is pretty solid with me. So we're gonna talk a lot today. I can feel it. It's just one of those days. We're gonna have a lot of chats. But without further ado, let's read a short story, and hopefully my croissant won't burn because that is just what I need today. A burnt croissant. I should probably check on it. Yeah.
But it's getting late. I want you to stay.
read you the first sentence of this short story because this is how you pull in a reader. Mr. Ingersoll died from a heart attack 4 years ago, but that didn't stop him from drifting into the Happy Horse Convenience Mart every morning to ask Charlie if the coffee was ready yet. That is how you pull in a reader!
No one dared to make the first move. You and me in the night, two souls in the moonlight. I stare into your eyes, and you into mine, lying perfectly still, like we have frozen time. I don't want this to be over. Don't want the morning to come. My head upon your shoulder, wishing that you would say.
Okay, that short story was fantastic. It was called The Slender One, written by Carolyn Tung Richmond, and it was so good. Oh my gosh, I really loved that one. I think I've loved either 2 or 3 out of them so far. I haven't read that many. I disliked one of them, and then I think the other ones were pretty okay. Let's see. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've read 6, so yeah, there's quite a few left. I'm about halfway through, which is exciting. But so far, so good. As I said, I think before, I really love how there are the same characters in this whole kind of like short story world, and they just kind of like pop up in each of the author's stories. There's like a mention of a character you've already heard about like in the background. I just think that's so fun because you've read that character's story and now you just see them out and about in life. So I think that's wonderful. Yet again, I got so caught up in reading that I forgot to finish my croissant, which is sad for the croissant, but good for the reading. So did my one short story there. Now I think I'm going to read an essay. This is just like how I'm doing it now. Short story, essay, and then contemporary. Yes, and I really want to start another book because I bought a couple books the other day. I mentioned that earlier, I think. Yeah, when I tried to first kickstart my reading, I was like, let's go buy some books. And of course, fresh books. Now you want to read the fresh books. Like I was trying to just kickstart like my want to read, which it works. I swear it works. But of course now I want to read those books. And I think I held them up earlier, but in case I didn't, Jay's Gay Agenda, one of my anticipated releases of this year. And where's the other one? Hello? Oh, it's at the bottom. Hang on. It's at the bottom of the stack. And The Ones We're Meant to Find, also one of my anticipated releases. Like all of the anticipated releases came out. And I have a couple Book of the Month books coming in because Book of the Month is honestly, in my opinion, which is not the law, is doing a lot better with their book selection lately, just in terms of diversity that they're selecting, as well as just books that all around I personally feel like I would want to read. So I got a couple Book of the Month books, which is very exciting. And those are also my anticipated releases. So overall, the book capitalist consumption is alive and well. But let's read an essay. I do have to figure out where my marker is. We found it. I really love annotating books. I have a whole video on how I like to annotate books, and specifically mild liners and matching the mild liner with the cover of the book. It really depends on which books I highlight. I do like to highlight high fantasies so I can keep track of what's going on, because high fantasies, with the world building and everything that's going on, it takes a while for me to get into it, but actively highlighting it helps things stick in my brain more. I also like to highlight nonfiction, and if I think something is going to be a favorite of mine, I also highlight it. So let's read. So instead of reading one essay, I ended up reading either 3 or 4. It was 3. I ended up reading 3 essays from The Displaced. If you have not read The Displaced, please do. These essays, first off, are phenomenal. Second off, I am really enjoying what kind of a wide array of voices are shown in here. There was one about a woman going to this VR experience in, I think it was Vienna, that showcased what it was like for people crossing from Mexico into the American border and crossing over that desert, which the VR experience was 6.5 minutes, and she detailed the experience very well. And then just a lot of different refugee, migrant, immigrant stories of what everyone has gone through. So if you have not read this, absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing. This is a just phenomenal reading experience, so highly recommend, and I'm only like a third way through of it right now. So now I am going to read my secret buddy read because I really need to catch up because I'm on like page 80. My buddy read partner is on page 120. I was supposed to catch up yesterday, and it's going to happen today. I'm going to reheat my coffee, reheat my croissant, you know, just do all of the things that my European ancestors would frown upon and be disappointed in me, and read this book. So yeah, let's do that. I did it. I caught up for my buddy read. So this means I'm basically caught up with 2 buddy reads. I am making progress in the 2 books left over from my May TBR, and I read 2 graphic novels. So I feel like this is the end of the video. I did it. I am so proud of myself. Let me say that again. I am so proud of myself because the last couple of weeks, no reading occurred. Absolutely no reading. I was in bed many days. I had absolutely no motivation to do anything. I did not feel good. So finally getting that motivation to get back into reading has felt so nice because I do love reading. It just doesn't really mesh with the anxiety very well. So it feels really good to be back. I think next I am going to try either a read every day for a certain amount of time challenge or read every day for a certain amount of pages challenge. I haven't decided which way I want to go yet because a page limit could mean I'd be reading a lot longer than a time limit would be. So I don't know if I want to prioritize just making sure that I am reading no matter how much length it is, or prioritizing reading a lot. I'm not sure yet. If you have an opinion, let me know because this video should be out before I start that. So let me know. Thank you so much for watching. This was a ton of fun. Let me know if you've tried any reading challenges lately or 24-hour readathons. They are tiring, but they are effective, especially if you know your style of reading. Like for instance, me knowing that the best way to get myself out of a reading slump is by starting off with a graphic novel, or specifically a graphic novel I've already read and loved, and then moving to a contemporary and then moving further into my TBR is the best method for me. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!